Two are in custody, and police are still hunting for the third. It's messed up. But, of course, the media is going to want to blame guns for it, not the killer kids. But that's when America got an earful from this guy, Marion County Sheriff Billy Woods.
There are individuals out there viewing, and to include some of you media, that want to blame the one thing that has no ability or the capacity to commit the crime itself. And that's the gun. These individuals committed the crime.
Do we know how the suspect got a hold of the weapon?
Car burglaries. Ain't that right? All the gun laws we got in place didn't prevent it, did it? Neither will any new ones. The bad guy's going to get a gun no matter what law you have put in place. These juveniles shouldn't even possess a handgun. But they did.
I love this guy. Tells it like it is. If a criminal wants to get a gun, no amount of gun control is going to stop it. So let's stop talking about the guns and instead focus on the real issue. Why are kids shooting each other? It appears both the victims and the suspects in the case were gang affiliated. They were known for causing trouble. And the ones who pulled the trigger, they had no regard for human life at all. And at the end of the day, the sheriff says it's society that's failed these kids. Listen.
The fact is, society fails it. We do not hold our juveniles accountable. We minimize their actions. I am a father. But here's the one thing my boys know. Growing up, the freaking barber had my permission to whip their asses. School districts across this state and across this nation need to quit minimizing the actions of their students. Hold them accountable. That's where the failure is.
He's right. Starts at home, starts in the schools. If we don't raise these kids right, they're going to die on the streets. Marion County Sheriff Billy Woods joins me now. Billy, where did tough love go in society?
It left a long time ago, Jesse. That's what's disappointing. You know, I've been doing this for 33 years in law enforcement. And in those 33 years, it has diminished greatly. And that's what's infuriating. You know, we in law enforcement, we talk about this all the time, but nobody listens. And you just put out there what I said. They want to blame something else. They want to point the finger at something else. And truthfully, I get tired of it. I get tired of it every single day. You know, I don't just utter words. When I talk about schools, it's stuff that I see. It's stuff that I've experienced. These kids today and I ain't saying every one of them, and I'm not blaming the teachers. The teachers do a phenomenal job. It's all the discipline that the system lacks to hang on them and hold them responsible, fails to recognize it, and then solve the problem. And the problem is, you know, we look at the shootings. It breaks your heart, number one. Today, I went through a lot of emotions, anger, you name it. It was there. And they want to blame it. It ain't the guns. You're absolutely right. It has absolutely nothing to do with the gun.
Do you think that parents or judges, prosecutors don't want the responsibility to deliver tough love and they just want to blame it on some vague gun legislation?
I don't know if they don't want it. I don't think they just don't have the courage to do it, to stand up to whatever is pushing on them to say don't do it and have, I don't want to say no feelings. You got feelings for anything. You heard me. I love my boys. But I wanted to make sure that they succeeded in life and didn't get in trouble. And the only way you're going to accomplish that is so that they understand that there's consequences to their actions. And look, I get it. You teach children as much as you want out there, and there's going to be some that absolutely do not listen to you. They're going to be an adult, and you got good parents out there that shows them the way, and they stray away. But I'm talking, they absolutely ignore it. It's a combination of things, Jesse. It's a lack of parenting in the home. It's the families. It's lack of them standing up. They want to be a best friend, or they want to let their kid go and do everything. Here's what I've seen in the last 33 years increase. What happens here an awful lot of time, we have local cinemas around here. And around 10 o'clock, so the parents can go do stuff, you know what they do? They go and drop them off at a cinema. That's their daycare for the evening while they go and do stuff. And then leave it to us and law enforcement to respond there and take care of them. Then they yell at us for even putting handcuffs on them because they just broke into the vehicle that's in that parking lot.
Do you ever confront the parents?
Oh, absolutely.
What do they say?
They blame us. They either blame us or their kid didn't do it or they put it off. I had one parent. I'll make this quick for you because I love this dad. And it was one evening about halfway through my career. They had stolen a vehicle. We called them in the parking lot of a cinema. We called each of the parents because they had stolen their uncle's car. And the last kid's dad shows up, walks over there. And of course, the uncle didn't want to do anything, but dad shows up, looks at his son and says, "Get your ass in my car." That's all he said. Didn't even acknowledge us. And then he about drove off. He turned around and says, "Officers, I apologize. Be assured I'll take care of the problem." That's a parent. And combined with it, it's the lacks of these school districts out here who want to hide. This is what I see. A lot of time hide what these kids are doing. And I mentioned that I have one particular local media or print media. Let's put it that way. A print one wants to criticize myself and another police chief here in Marion County for us putting the photos of kids up on a screen, on our social media to say, "Hey, look, everybody, this one right here is doing stuff wrong, is doing stuff in your neighborhood. And if he or she's hanging out with your kid, you need to know about it." That's part of the problem.
Yeah, the media is definitely a big part of the problem. Trust me, I know almost better than anybody. Well, Sheriff, thank you so much. We wish you could be the sheriff in every county in the country with that kind of attitude. I love the passion. I love your heart. And thank you for joining.